Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Jace Beleren Must Die. I have to say, before we went live today, every time we do an episode, the official Dungeons & Dragons Twitter account tweets that the show is live. And this time, and let me see if I can get an exact quote from the Twitter. I feel like they're taking shots at us. I feel like our hosts, our gracious hosts. Let's see. Magic Meets D&D. Jace Beleren Must Die is live on twitch.tv/D&D. The cast are hunting Ravnica's most notorious planeswalker / probably more likely doing literally anything else.
What? I am attacked. Hold on. So this is the part you can fast forward the next 5 minutes because we're gonna sit in silence and tweet back at D&D right now.
Hold on a second.
Wizards, have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? God.
Yeah. I'm not, because that's Lisa and I think it's funny.
I do too.
And she's my boss, so if I say anything to her, she'll be mad at me.
So,
dear Mr. Dragons.
Excuse me, Mr. Coast?
Yeah, that's right.
Excuse me? Question mark, exclamation point.
Magister Coast.
Yeah.
Signed, Carlos.
Strongly worded letter.
Very important. Yeah, so it's good.
Okay.
It's nice to start an episode being so directly called out. But you know what? That's fine. Sometimes you need to just have a
friendship with Lisa. So
yeah, it's perfect. It's great.
Welcome to my life. Oh, I'm not the DM. I should change my name on this.
So
I enjoyed the attack of power. I was like, wow, is TK my DM today? I was ready.
Yeah, this is the thing. They don't tell you this in the Dungeon Master's Guide, but sometimes if you just don't feel like DMing, you can pick another player at random and be like, you do it. I'm out. I don't want to do it today. You do it.
You can, and
That's
should.
the dream, isn't it? I think you should try it once.
We should, yeah.
I feel like, listen, if you think that things are bad for your characters now, think about how it would be if
No, go ahead.
TK was in charge. Yeah.
What the heck is that supposed to mean?
I've seen you GM. These players are lucky to be spared your venomous claws.
That is untrue. They've only ever gotten what they themselves deserved. Like when Adil and Kayla got into a slap fight and I made them roll their own damage.
I mean, yeah, there are rules for that. If you hit somebody, there are consequences. HP consequences. Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're in a slap fight? Both of you roll a d4. Okay, you rolled a 1, you take 1 damage. You rolled a 4, you take 4 damage. I hope you're happy.
That just sounds like DMing. That just
Yes, yeah, you're literally describing how to play Dungeons and Dragons. So you attack them,
like
roll damage.
All right. Yeah. I didn't even make them roll to hit. I was just like, yeah, keep rolling. I hope you roll high because
That's how you guys
a
play
wizard.
Dungeons and
So
I don't play that way. It's like, oh, you guys get a slap fight? Truth or dare? Like in real life. Go to Walgreens and pick me up a Red Bull.
I know that there are some parts of the tabletop role-playing game world that use, strange things for resolving stuff like Jenga towers or rock, paper, scissors. I've never heard of a role-playing game with truth or dare as the resolution mechanism.
my nightmare.
I don't know.
that's awesome.
No one steal that idea. That's
I draw my sword and
That's
attack
okay.
the elf prince. The elf prince looks at you and says, truth or dare.
Truth or dare. I think we're
Joke's
onto
on
something,
you.
guys.
I
I'm
like this.
scared and
The problem is like, how do you, I guess like truth or dare is just a game of chicken, right? Like you win by being the last person to bail out.
okay.
I guess is that how it works? Like
I don't think I never got to the point where it's like, okay, well, Sandy got knocked out of Truth or Dare in the last round. So I like, you know what I mean?
you never played Truth or Dare Battle Royale? You get 50 people together and you just start doing and saying awkward things at each other until there's only one person left. and
That's
then you
just
win.
normal battle royale.
Truth or dare is supposed to, it should be, do you want to get hurt emotionally or physically? That's basically all.
Right, but
Truth or
if we're
Dare is.
using it, let's continue this thought
definitely.
experiment. If we're
Yeah.
using it as a resolution mechanism in a role-playing game, at some point there needs to be a clear understanding of whether or not you got the thing that you wanted. So is it like 3 rounds of truth or dare and then you get what you wanted, or is it like how do you
Maybe-
determine?
Ultimately, you dare them to make out with you. That's ultimately the goal of every Truth and Dare game that has ever been
I
played.
mean, yeah,
Okay,
it's truth or dare,
yes.
and the dare is
Obviously.
do the thing that everyone already wants to do, and the
Yeah.
truth is say out loud the thing that everybody is already thinking.
Right.
Yeah, I think Truth or Dare continues until we are satisfied.
Yeah.
Or sad.
Until
Or
the
sad,
mom
right?
is
Sad.
It's either like we regret playing Truth or Dare, or it continues.
To be fair,
just a conversation with Tack.
right.
At that point.
I was gonna say the Rakdos Circus is just Truth or Dare to the extreme,
Oh
right?
my
Yeah.
gosh, yes. I know you were gonna say Truth or Dare to the extreme, and you said it, but I, for some reason, expected you to say 7 in Heaven to the
Oh,
extreme,
yes.
and I was like, that
7
doesn't
minutes.
sound like the Rakdos at
Yeah,
all.
I personally, I don't need to be locked. I don't need to be locked in a closet with a murderous clown for any amount of time, let alone 7 entire minutes. 7
Yeah.
minutes is like
You
it's
will
like
eventually
it's like
go to
40
heaven if you
rounds or
do.
something. No combat in Dungeons and Dragons has ever lasted as long as being forced to stand in a closet with somebody for 7 minutes straight.
I always forget like how quick encounters occur, except for those battles that you're in for like 2 hours, and then you walk away. I was like, oh, that was a 15-minute fight. And I
Yeah.
was like,
So 7 minutes. Let's see. 7 minutes times 60 is 420 seconds divided by 6 seconds. It's 70 rounds.
Wow.
Yep. You're locked in a closet for 70 rounds. You're like, I cast Spiritual Guardians, I guess, or
It's probably fine.
in D&D terms, 7 minutes is a long time.
Was there ever consequences if you could not complete your dare? That's the thing. Is like we have
That's
to
what I'm
explore
saying.
the-
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
think people just got
usually
upset.
do-
Yeah.
The person just got upset because I think when I was a child, we would have like default dare then. Because if you can't complete, you must default.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
Default
a
dare,
hammer
yeah.
for some reason, but I don't remember why.
Have you guys ever played Spin the Bottle?
No.
No.
I
have.
went to
No.
fucking finger school. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Yes.
No, I did not.
I went to like a fame high school and it was garbage.
I think
like that.
I have played Never Have I Ever,
Mhm.
and I've never played 7 Minutes in Heaven.
Yeah.
7 minutes in heaven isn't a game. It's brief incarceration. Like it's
Oh,
not.
that's not true.
It's so weird. It's just like there's no rules to the game. It's just I guess the rule is be in the closet for 7 minutes, then stop. It's a very, very simple game.
Yeah. Well,
This is my game jam. It's just,
okay, vanilla.
This is the Uber inventing the bus equivalent in game design. It's the like, what if the rule is you put an object in the middle of a group of people and you take turns spinning it around, and whoever it points at, you have to put your face on their face. I think it's a good game. I think it's excellent design.
I went to laugh, but I threw up in the back of my
Socket
mouth.
blow? Did you guys ever play that? Did you guys
I never played that.
Wait,
What is this?
That's the one with the card, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
the card?
yeah, you have to, the suction from your mouth keeps the card on you, and then somebody else takes the card from you. It's a lot like Cloven Fruit. Have you ever played Cloven Fruit?
No.
That
I only played
sounds
that as an
like
adult.
the devil's game. I
It
feel
is
that sounds
the
like
devil's
something.
game.
That sounds like something that a witch in a hut tries to make you play. Like when you get
First of
lost because your
all-
parents abandon you in the woods because they can't feed you.
Harsh but accurate.
No.
I am the witch in the woods. No, you put
Cloven
cloves.
foot?
Cloven fruit. So you get like an
Oh.
orange and you put
Oh.
cloves into the rind and you hand that fruit to somebody and the person takes the clove and they put it somewhere on their body and you have to
What?
retrieve it with either your hand or your mouth.
But like a clove, like a little.
Like a tiny clove. It's actually a
Have you
clove
guys heard of this
cigarette that
before?
they've
Am I,
hidden.
the only person who hasn't heard of this?
No,
Other
this
people.
is
No,
This is-
Super.
This feels like the
No.
game that TK tells everyone is a game, and while they're trying to figure it out, they rob their house. They're like, all right, here's the game. You get an orange and then these clothes, and they're like, okay, I think we have those in the kitchen. And then TK just goes upstairs and is like, I'm gonna take your TV, I'm gonna take your laptop.
I'm hiding a clove. Don't look for me. I'm hiding cloves.
I'm gonna take your dog.
No.
I'm gonna take your jewelry.
Yes, I mean, yes. Second of all, if you are on Twitter, please at me and tell me if you are in like the Renaissance Fair community or SCA and you've ever played Cloven Fruit, please.
Yeah.
Now that I say it out loud, though, I realize that's something that I have played at what are called pan parties. So the chance that other people in this chat have played it is low.
Mhm.
Do I need to Google it myself, or are you going to tell me?
You know, it's really
What is a
nice.
pan party.
It's
What
really
is-
nice being
like-
able to. It's really nice being able to
pan,
get
like
these views.
satyrs.
These views into your
Ah.
life.
Ah.
Okay, it's really nice.
I
And
just-
wait,
I've
what
lived
was the
really
pan
weird.
party?
A pan party, like satyrs.
For
and, like,
pan.
fairies.
Yeah, you put on
Not-
your furry pants
Like
and
pan.
your
Yeah.
goat hooves, and you take your shirt off and you
Yeah.
dance around playing pipes.
Not
Yeah.
like a community like Tupperware party where I'm gonna
No.
talk about my pans.
Oh
Like,
God,
that's-
I wish.
Okay.
It's like
I
yeah,
just
it's
looked.
literally the yep. That's cool.
Yeah, it is that and all of the implications that come with that.
Got you. So and
so
this
much.
okay. I'm assuming that it's
I
also
apologize, Hasbro.
casually an orgy. I imagine. And not to shame, but I just assume that it's implied.
I'm still imagining everybody wearing goat leg pants, like in what was that? What was that movie? Dan Aykroyd's in it. It's not the Blues Brothers. It might be the Dragnet movie from like the late 70s. Where like the bad guys are all Satanists and they wear goat legs. What the fuck movie is this?
Oh, I don't know.
It's gonna.
it's not-
Oh, now I'm gonna look it up. Keep talking.
just
Tori
thinking about
Strait,
Nothing But
you are
Trouble.
not inaccurate.
It's not nothing but trouble. I would know if it was.
Should we watch Nothing But Trouble right now? I think we all agree we should watch Nothing But Trouble right now.
I dare you to watch Nothing But Trouble.
I haven't seen that movie in years. It's horrible.
I've never seen it. I have no idea what it is. What?
Oh
what is
yeah,
Nothing
look it
But
up.
Trouble?
Just, if you're
Okay.
listening to this or watching us right now,
It's
go ahead.
yeah.
You can just stop and just watch Nothing But Trouble with Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, Demi Moore, I think is in it.
wow.
It was a very strange movie.
I was indeed thinking of Dragnet, the movie
You're not wrong,
Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks, from 1987. The bad guys are all Satanists and they have weird goat leg pants that they wear, and I always wanted a pair because goat legs are awesome and Satan rules.
And Satan rules.
And Satan rules.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh! Last Friday, I wore a shirt that Kayla had given me. It's got like a lot of like Satanist imagery, but it's like all cartoon figures. And my mom came over to give me money for perming her hair, and she looked at my shirt and she looked me dead in the eyes, and she was like, "I really like that shirt. Where did you get it?" And I was like, "Mom."
Like Satan.
Scandalous.
Yeah, because she's like 60, and I'm like, whoa.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, are we having like a moment, like bonding? Okay. She was like, I really like that shirt. I don't think she'd ever wear it, but
Bonding through Satanism. I love it. It's
Yeah.
good.
this is beautiful. Sorry, Hasbro.
Listen, they know. They know.
Lisa responded to my tweet. Am I wrong though?
Am I wrong?
Welcome to my friendship with Lisa, where she
Little
casually and gracefully drags you for filth in front of everyone that you've ever met.
Little do they know that the gates on the Rakdos arena will open and a greased up shirtless Jace Beleren will come running out and
Oh,
attempt to
yeah.
wrestle
They're gonna-
Torgor to the ground.
That'd be
And
foolish.
like
What
a,
if he does though? What if this is the episode?
Yeah.
Oh, here's
who
something
knew?
for the audience to do in the comment section. Write down what Jace Beleren was doing in this episode. This video. Go ahead. Just after every episode that we do, feel free to go to the YouTube page and comment on what Jace Beleren was doing this episode while we were trying to destroy him, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no. He's probably got box seats.
I just feel like there's at some point there's like some assistant or whatever will come up to Jace and be like, Jace, there are these four weirdos in Ravnica and they're trying to kill you, and Jace is like, oh really, who are they? And then they get the rundown and Jace is like, oh, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
We're good. I'm going to the Arby's. I'll see you later.
I like to think that the assistant tell him
Man,
about
he
these
would
four
eat at
weirdos.
Arby's.
Four weirdos coming after him, and then shows him a picture of people that are not us.
Right, you're below the level of notice.
Like,
Yeah.
that is the series finale of Jace Beleren Must Die.
Yes.
Doom, doom, boom, boom. Yeah, perfect.
but also like we're all dead.
Yeah.
But also we're dead.
But also
You're not
we're
wrong.
all dead.
It's actually the next party we create after all 4 of our characters die in this Rakdos circus today.
Yeah,
I mean, so we were talking about this, and I think we can segue this into talking about the circus event itself, because TK was asking me about the rules of a Rakdos circus, and as we have learned previously, rules are not really the Rakdos' thing. They don't really do rules exactly. Generally, and Carlos, you astutely pointed this out. Generally, there is a contract, a social contract, wherein if the event is posited as a certain thing, like these 2 minotaurs will fight these monsters, you don't generally get involved. But if you do choose to get involved, now you're involved in your fair game. So in this instance, and I've put together a little map for us so we can keep track of where everybody's at fight wise. Let me drag you over there.
I hope I'm not on it.
Show the audience.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Well, I mean, we need to know where you are just in case. So I've put the 3 of you who are not directly immediately involved in this battle up here in the corner. So place yourselves somewhere in the stands among these many commoners.
Because I want to be helpful.
We're in the splash zone.
I want to be helpful
We were in the
to you,
splash zone,
Torgor. Yes, we are in the splash zone.
Yeah, you fucking put us in the splash zone.
Don't put us anywhere near like where the grates are for runoff. I want full splash zone. I don't want
Somebody comes up to you with a plastic poncho and you're like, no.
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 My mouth is gonna be open this whole time.
Yeah.
I would like the funnel, please.
What is the opposite of goggles, and can I wear some?
Yeah, I want to be like, we're obviously in the home team, so I want to be right here.
Okay, all right.
Right, and I'm sitting next to you. Oh, can this NPC token next to us be the woman who's?
Yeah, she's between us. She's between us.
Yeah.
She's
would
between
be.
us. Yeah,
Where would like the
between us.
back?
I want to be real
area-
close to her. I want to be uncomfortably close.
Wait, no, I want to be uncomfortably close. This isn't fair.
I can't be uncomfortably close.
I love the little token tango that's going on up here. Where everyone's just like wiggling around.
I apologize in advance to everybody for this episode because I have a cold. I'm very sick. I'm sorry.
So is this area on the bottom right here? Is that on the floor or is that
No.
like above?
Everything, we're looking straight down, and so there is, and where I put this little green area, there is an exit and an entrance there. That's that portcullis that was lifting at the end of the last episode. So technically, the 2 Minotaur brothers are in here, and so they'll come out.
Jace's box seat at the bottom? Is that
no, sorry. Let me place this. This is where that's where Kerfuffle is sitting.
Oh God.
Okay. Next
So
to
because
Jace.
Kerfuffle is the ringmaster there.
Is that
maybe
Vinegar sitting right
under?
Where?
Can I be like under that area or?
There's
like, I
no
figured this
there's
is
no
like a
seating.
balcony?
Yeah, there's no seating under that area. Yeah.
Okay. I'm probably like around here, basically.
Okay.
Like, kind of like angels in the outfield.
Aw, that's nice.
Also, Gorbor and Torgor like to be called the Hammer Bros.
Good.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's really sweet.
Can't believe he's gonna die. Wow, that was too sweet. Wow.
I wonder. Sometimes I'll go into the Roll20 Marketplace and I'll just look for tokens for things that I couldn't possibly be tokens for. I'm gonna look and see if there's a Zamboni token anywhere in here, because I imagine as soon as the gates know, unfortunately, no Zamboni token available for me to celebrate my heritage. But yeah, because I imagine that as the gate starts to rise, we hear like bum 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 bum. Everybody doing the wave. It goes all the way around.
So have I killed most of the people on our side? Because I noticed it's a little sparse.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to fill the entire seating area with the same creepy commoner face. I figured this would be enough. This would be enough to give some texture to the background. But yes, the entire audience is not made up of people who have exactly the same slightly Mila Jovovich-y face.
Yo, I'm into it though.
Disappointing. But
for some reason, we couldn't pay for the CGI to have individual faces, so everyone in the audience is the same person, and it's just Mila Jovovich.
I just hope that we just downloaded the 3D models for free off a website, and we have like Toy Story, we have like all different types of 3D models.
We just pulled them out of a Doom wad, so that's fine. No problem. No problem.
I really like this arena. Notice there are no exits for bathrooms, but that's fine.
I mean, there are exits. Look, there's an
there are
exit.
exits, but not bathrooms.
And there you have to leave the
Doesn't
arena,
doesn't seem
or
very
you
accessible.
can, as I imagine many of the Gruul do, you can just like
No.
over the
Don't say it.
edge
Do
into
not.
the arena if you
That
wanted to.
is
Listen,
the
it
worst
depends.
thing.
The Rakdos are immaculate improvisers, and so while this may begin as an arena battle, they're willing to let it go where it goes. We're gonna see where the day takes us.
Are there weapons that we can throw in? Like, are there,
This
like-
is a BYOW event. So, but if you want
How
to,
are
you
we
can
supposed to
go back to
support
the
our
lobby
team?
and you can buy yourself a very overpriced sword or knife or whatever.
Is this like medieval times? Are they gonna?
It says, does it say AT&T on the side? Like what?
No, but I guarantee
banners
there's
look like here?
there's somebody in the audience with a giant pink foam finger that says Roll20 on it. Just going,
There's like a Roll20 Zeppelin.
just goes by. Yeah, perfect.
You're a blimp?
Yeah, it says Rakdos is a pimp on the side of it.
Yes.
So Torgor and Gorbor, we fade in on this arena. The last act has been they've been cleared from the floor, and you and your brother are standing by the portcullis as it begins to rise, and everyone is shouting. They know that we talked about this before. They know that this is your fight. You have colleagues in the crowd, and then obviously a whole bunch of people gathered just to watch Rakdos fight who maybe have heard of you. Almost certainly there are one or two people in the audience who are like, when they see you come out, they're like, wait a second, that's that Minotaur from that Wanted poster. Cool. I love criminals. All the Ravnican true crime fans, they're just really stoked to find
All
out
their
that,
podcasts.
that you're, listen, they got podcasts in Ravnica, okay?
That's disappointing to hear.
Who's here live streaming to their
Right, you just
their
see somebody
lich
with a camera.
stream?
You see a half-elf named Adam Coble in the corner.
Yeah, right.
He
What
is
a
a
get.
half elf.
They flew him out.
Yeah. So
He's
you
got his own little meetup spot.
so you want to come out, you want to do, so you're in charge basically of this
Yeah.
moment, right? This is your moment, Torgor. Whether you traditionally that you'll come in and you'll have a minute to kind of like showboat or whatever, and then they'll release your opponents.
Perfect.
So what does that give me the scene? What does it look like?
Torgor does exactly that. I think at the last moment of the episode, you had this like kind moment of Torgor and Gorbor like checking in with each other, where they're like kind of, it's just them, so it's a little more of like just their experience. And then as the portcullis opens, it's almost like that part doesn't go away, but Torgor knows like it's performance time.
Yeah.
So it's like any the sincerity and kindness kind of wait away, and it's like the braggadocious, like the real like showmanship comes out. And he like gets into the crowd and it says, "Who's ready for some Torgor?" And like just like starts like getting the crowd up, like ramped up, and it's
Go.
absolutely. And like he looks at Winnegar, who started the chant. He's like, "That's my best friend." And like
The thing is, let's point out down at the bottom here. Winnegar is sitting as by himself as he can get.
Yeah.
Just being like Torgor, and there's like the next person is like 10 feet away.
I'm sitting right next to Scoop. It's me and Scoop together.
yeah, the engineer Scoop.
All right.
It's like over there.
And like Torgor takes a moment. He grabs the one mic that's dangling because he asked for it specifically. And it says, now, this is the 2-on-2 fight you all have been waiting for. The one, the only Torgor come to provide some entertainment. But don't worry, your eyes aren't broken. You're not seeing double. It is the 2-on-2 Minotaur match of the century. And it's
Winnegar is looking at his notes that he wrote for Torgor to say. It's like he read it perfectly.
got it locked in. I'm unwarranted. I want to see how well this performance happens.
Yeah. So let's have you make a performance roll to see how fired up the crowd gets, and then we'll see. Yeah. Ooh, a 22. Nice.
22.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So for the fight, so you get the crowd going.
I'm like vamping them up, getting them real hype.
And they're already really excited, and that energy starts to kind of feed back. People getting up out of their seat and cheering, and you can feel the energy go from like, we're excited about this to like blood. Like, let's see some blood. And so the crowd is shouting, and your brother has gone into, like, you can see the sort of tactician, like combatant mode kick in. Like for you, this is a performance, but for him, he's like, checking the exits, looking around, like scanning the crowd for hidden dangers, and he's ready to go. But while we look around at the crowd, I think we get another shot like real low to the ground, so we can see your feet moving around. We can see your brother behind you, and we focus in. The focus falls on one of these grates over here. And the grate lifts very slowly, and we see first a dark green snout, like a pair of nostrils. We see a long red tongue flick the air, and with a hiss, we see an enormous snake emerge from this grate over here, and slither in your direction. So what we're going to do, I'll get Torgor and the snake. We'll get you to roll initiative. And then if anybody else wants to do something, you tell me you want to do it, and then we can roll initiative for you, and you can jump in. Now, I threw together a character sheet for Gorbor. I want to get a volunteer from the audience. I want somebody, one of the three of you, can you play Gorbor? Can you do the fight part for him? Who wants to play as Gorbor for this scene?
I nominate Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos is gonna get that brotherly bond, I think, better than.
Oh no! Someone else needs to do it for sure. I'm handing it off to one of you guys.
Wait, then I definitely want to see TK be a loving brother. The acting challenge of a lifetime.
Can you take on that that challenge? Okay. All right. Let me assign
I'll give you
you
some coaching if you need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, don't worry. I will ensure Torgor's safety.
Just know that Gorbor was made intentionally to be a cleric for whatever reason. Maybe because our team lacks any healing whatsoever.
Well, Gorbor is a cleric, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll play a cleric.
Okay. So I assigned you Gorbor's character sheet. You should be able to see it there.
Hecky yeah.
I enjoy. I would like to read some of these like personality traits.
Oh, I rolled randomly a bunch of them. They didn't all stick, but we can let TK illustrate the personality traits.
Oh.
But yeah, you see, I was doing the character builder, so there's like a whole bunch of test rolls here.
Oh my
Some of these are
Oh, this is just me.
okay.
I pace when standing and fidget incessantly when forced to sit.
So
no.
Gorbor and Torgor, you see the grate open, and everyone starts to scream and shout. They're all very excited about the snake, and I think that as the snake comes out, it's gonna get the first turn. As it comes out, sitting up here next to you, Winnegar, Scoops looks over and he points at the grate as the grate like automatically shuts, and he's like, "Spring loaded. I did that."
Oh wow! What? Are there like people? It's spring loaded, so like someone's cranking down that spring in the beginning, and
he shakes his head. He's like, "It's all automated. We used to have to have two guys, one to open the grate, the other one keep the snake from getting out. Now, automated. I did that."
Wow. How are those guys though? Did they land on their feet? Did they get another job or something?
And he looks at you. He's like, "This is the first time you've been to the circus, isn't it?"
Oh yeah, definitely. Like,
what's great is look at this guy's like Dane Cook looking face too. Just
look
at Chris Angel over here.
That was like a fucking jump scare.
Holy goodness.
I like him because because he looks like the guy at the coffee house that would say to play devil's advocate.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, literally Rakdos is a devil, so it makes sense. He does have a highly punchable face, so there he is. There's your new friend.
I cannot wait to kill him.
Oh, Scoops.
So yeah, this snake emerges from the grate, goaded from behind. We see a couple of Rakdos like poking at it with spears underneath, and it hisses angrily and slithers out in front of you, Torgor, and all the crowd is shouting. You can see it's got like burns and stuff along the back of it, and it's pissed. Like they've been firing this thing up.
Oh, Charlie, what have they been doing to you, bud? Oh,
And
God.
so yeah, and so when you look up and you see Charlie, and there is a moment where all of the shouting and the poking and all of the goading finally just congeals in Charlie's brain. He lashes out, fangs like swords snapping out towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how the first swing of the fight goes. I get a 4. So it lunges out at you. When Torgor fights, do you tend to move out of the way of attacks, or do you tend to like parry them?
I think Torgor himself is. I kind of think of him like the Juggernaut in certain ways. That like once he's moving, and then but prior to that, he is like. It just takes a lot of momentum to get him into that space.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, he's planted. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, rather than like roll out of the way or dodge, yeah, you full on like just block the attack. So this enormous snake like rears back, lunges for you, and then there's a crash as the two of you collide. The crowd cheers for all the violence, and I think that's the Viper's turn. So Torgor, it is your turn.
I'm not, you know what? I'm not going to talk about my fear. I'll discuss it a little bit later. But so this big snake is right in front of me. I would like to. I want to use a. So I'm going to use my bonus action to activate Fighting Spirit. To get myself an extra 10 temporary hit points.
How long does Fighting Spirit last?
It's till the end of my turn, which is a thing that I think I had been getting wrong.
Okay.
Both prior.
So it's till the end of your next turn.
Till on the bonus action turn, you can give yourself advantage until the end of the current turn.
End of the current.
End of the current turn.
Yeah.
So then actually it's only 5 temporary hit points. My bad. And I'm going to use both my attacks with my maul. I'm going to use the first one on its right eye and then the second one on its left eye.
Okay, just pummeling it about the head.
Just like two really like boom, boom, like to like kind of like almost to pop really 2 large water balloons, I would say, with this camera.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get the maul out there for the first attack. I do have advantage because of Fighting Spirit. And I get a
Woo!
that is the with advantage. It's a nat 20.
It is. That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I'll roll for the second one now, as is. Whew! Thank goodness for that advantage, huh?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Two crits in a row because of advantage. Both the result of your Fighting Spirit. Torgor is in fine form.
So this is like the sickest fighting we've ever seen you do.
Yeah.
Oh
when
my
you guys
God.
aren't here, I'm in my zone. Give me someone who knows how I fight, and we've got it locked in. Cool. Okay. So I'll make. So with Roll20, if I just click them all, it'll
do all the crits and everything. Yeah, it'll grab all your dice.
Okay. And the second one.
Oh,
Perfect.
wow. Okay. So 9, 10, 11, 12, and then another 18. All right. Yeah. So one swing to the side of the head, and then as the snake reels, you spin the hammer around the other side, smash it on that side. And it's reeling, blood dripping from its jaws. And then I assume you don't want to move. You're good where you are.
I'm good exactly where I am. Am I successful in hindering its sight in any capacity?
You have pummeled it in the head, but it hasn't. It's still like aware.
Okay.
It's capable. Yeah, it's not
Sure.
stunned or anything.
Gotcha.
I'm just picturing this as like, you know, when in like video games, when like the first boss isn't really the boss, you know what I mean? Like,
Funny you should mention
There's
that.
only one snake. It's supposed to be 2
That's
on 2.
right. Funny you should mention that, Winnegar. So it maybe occurs to you, Torgor, like, wait a second, there's only one snake. And it's at that point when you hear a loud shrieking cry from up in this direction. And we pan up, we see Kerfuffle like rubbing his hands together, like, ooh, here we go.
God damn it.
And flying down from above, you see an enormous creature. So it has the body of a tiger or maybe a lion. It has the wings of a bat, and it has the face of a terrifying old man with too many teeth. And so you see this hideous manticore come
old man from up.
flying in from above. And let's see. Yeah, so it flies in. Now it's above you, flapping its big wings here. Let me put the little indicator on it. There we go. And it flies in here, shrieking, and everybody first screams with fear and then with delight because of more violence. And as the manticore flies overhead, its tail snaps under it and flings 3 spikes in your direction.
What the fuck?
So here's the first one. Okay, I got a 20.
That'll hit.
Oh my
Okay, so Torgor, you take 10 piercing damage.
Cool.
A second spike gets a 7.
Misses.
And then the third spike is a 10. Okay, so only the first one hits you.
Yeah.
And now this thing is flying here. It's about like 20 feet off the ground. And it's flinging spikes out of its tail at you. And that's its turn. So Gorbor, what would you like to do, Gorbor?
Sorry, I've never played a spellcaster on Roll20, so I'm just like going through the spell list, like looking and seeing what all's
What
happening.
does all this crap do?
I do like
There's
this
so
notion
much
of Gorbor
stuff.
like holding his spell cards, just like,
Yeah,
oh my god.
absolutely. Like Gorbor has been attempting to pay attention. What is Gorbor's voice?
He's kind of sounds like Torgor.
I was just doing like an impression of Masood doing Torgor, so
like
do
a
an
little
impression of
chesty, a
Adam,
little
too.
gravelly.
yeah. So now you have to do an impression of me doing an impression of Masood doing a Torgor voice.
Nice.
I will not.
We'll just imagine it. We got it.
Because I know for a fact that it would sound super ridiculous. I feel like Gorbor's just gonna have a youth pastor voice for the rest of the
He's a cleric. You're not wrong.
He showed up. Yeah, he's in his armor and everything, but beneath it is the sweater vest of a
I
champion.
was about to say, does he take out an acoustic guitar? Like,
This is a puka shell necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think okay, so this manticore is still flying or has it
yes,
landed?
yeah, it is still flying.
Okay, and this serpent is
It is.
struggling.
It's fighting with Torgor. Yep.
Awesome. I think Gorbor will take that chance to sort of like go over the I'm going to say he doesn't have spell cards, but he does have a yearly book of devotionals and
Mhm.
affirmations.
Yep. Because
And
remember,
he will,
clerics in Ravnica, there aren't really gods in the way that there are in a lot of other
Yeah.
fantasy settings. So the thing that empowers Gorbor is his dedication to the Boros and their ideals.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's thinking about that dedication. He's thinking about that strength that it gives him. He's like, my life is my purpose with the Boros. That is my purpose. And when you commit yourself to your purpose 100%, you cannot lose. And he's just like saying that to himself as like not quite a mantra, but as a daily affirmation, and summon spirit guardians.
Nice.
So
So-
I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
What does Spirit Guardians look like when Gorbor casts it?
I think that the spirit guardians, I think whenever he was younger and he was more about the crusade of the Boros Legion, that they were strong winged bulls. But I think now they look like his daughters.
Okay, cool.
Whoa!
Tiny spectral minotaurs.
Yeah, I think
Guys,
now they look like his
Gorbor's
daughters.
gonna die in this episode.
Yeah,
It's
you're
gonna happen.
you're really death
they-
flagging Gorbor here.
I got
Okay.
like profoundly sad just because like he might want to have to watch his daughters be attacked.
No, so
You,
they're spiritual
no, they're very
representations of his
Yeah.
children.
Yeah, and they have long swords and hammers, and they're very much what is the word I'm looking for? They're caricaturized.
They're like
versions
cherubs.
Of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like cherubs.
Yes.
But they're like little tiny cherub Amazons. So he's gonna cast that, and his main thought with these is to protect Torgor, not to attack whatever's attacking Torgor, because what it is it's like a manifestation of his love for his family, also protecting another family member.
Yeah. Spirit guardians is like the power of family. Okay, so it's 15-foot radius.
Yeah, I need a wisdom save for the serpent.
Yeah, and is it when they start their turn, or is it let me see.
Ooh.
I think
The number of creatures is halved when they enter the area for the first time, or on a turn, or starts its turn there.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll be at
it'll
the start
on
of their turn. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And then I don't remember if that's an action or not. I know spiritual weapon is a bonus action. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you'll get the snake with this aura now, but the manticore is too high up. The manticore is above the bubble of
Okay,
protection.
awesome. That's fine. It is an action to cast it. So in that case, Gorbor is going to stand their ground right now.
Yeah.
They're fine where they are.
Okay. All right.
They will like kind of jokingly, but not as much because they're not as good a performer as Torgor. Just be like, you got it, buddy? Doing okay over there?
Oh, what's really sad about this is I raised Charlie from an egg, and like suddenly you see this flashback of like Torgor nuzzling the snake as it like crawls up on his arm, feeds him like a little mouse, and like now like a single tear sheds down his eye as he like pummels it in the head.
Yeah, right. I raised him from an egg, and now I must kill him. The circle of life. Elton John's just in the audience, fucking playing his piano. All right.
Wow, they got him.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's here in his off time. This is just a side gig for him.
No,
And
it's just
then
like
you just see Adam Cobalt like touch Elton John's key every now and then, like his piano key. Elton's like, stop that.
Stop it. Get away from my piano. All right. So continuing from before, the serpent reels from the blows that you delivered and lunges in with an attack of his own and gets a crit. Oh,
Yeah.
here we go.
That'll hit.
All right. So Torgor gets you get crit for 28 piercing damage.
Cool. Standard.
So both fangs
many hit
just
points do I
plunged into
have?
your chest like spears, and then I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Would love to.
That would have killed me.
That would have killed me
So
already.
yeah, everyone in the
That was-
audience is like, "Oh, he's definitely dead." They're just like they get up cheering, like, "Wow!" and they're freaking out. Oh, and you fail your Constitution save. All right, so the snake's venom pours into your system. Right, you feel a sudden sharp pain as venom is thrust into your veins. You're gonna take another 4 poison damage.
Cool.
And you are blind. You are blind and poisoned.
Oh my god.
That gives me like disadvantage on attacks, right?
Yeah, you have to know where your target is, and then you can swing at it with disadvantage.
Cool.
So you're blind and you're poisoned. So let me double check if poisoned has any stuff on its own. And also, yes, the snake needs to take spirit guardian damage. So give me a second for that.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. Okay, all right. So let's have you. What's the save? 14 wisdom save.
Yeah, 14. Okay, so.
Okay, all right. So it takes the damage. I actually added for chat. The original HP on this thing. I added in wrong. This is what it should be at, just so you know.
Spirit babies. Oh no.
Let's see. It just took 14, and it should have started with another 20 more than it had. So it should be at.
Oh, you made it higher hit point.
Yeah, because there's only one of
Taking
it
it
for that
down.
first round. So you did the 14. Okay, all right, there you go. So it is you can see the spirit guardians, these tiny minotaur children, just like slashing through it, weakening the thing. It's on its last legs. Torgor, you've been poisoned. You're blind. You can still feel it though. You can feel it right next to you. It hasn't moved.
Perfect.
You're gonna get a saving throw against the blindness at the end of this turn, but you can still make your attacks. You're just at disadvantage.
Can I send him a message from the stands?
Yeah.
On where he should can I use the spell message to like tell him like, yo, what are you doing? Like he can't see. Obviously he can't see, right? Like.
Yeah. It's clear that he's swinging kind of aimlessly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to cast message and tell him where these two things are in relation to him right now.
Yeah.
I love that. And in that way, like upon hearing the message from Winnegar, like kind of, I just got two massive fangs in my chest, right? Like Torgo just got this like massive bite taken out. He's stumbling. He's kind of reeling, and then hears. What's called Winnegar's voice, and it like brings him back in a moment. And like in that, he like takes a deep breath, activates another fighting spirit to make him have 12 plus 5 temporary hit points to put him at 7.
Okay.
So now he's got advantage on attack rolls, but he also has so do they like?
So they basically any number of advantages and any number of disadvantages will just even each other out. So it's just a regular roll if you have.
Yeah. And then he's just gonna. I'm trying to think. I would say I would like to make. I know where the Manticore is because of the message of generally of like direction. So what I would think Torgor would want to do is, I'm just gonna attack the snake at first.
Yeah, the snake's it's pretty badly beat up. So
cool. I'm gonna just whip at it with my maul. Let's see, nice. Okay, 27 hits.
Yep, that's definitely a hit.
And then. Oh, I haven't used my movement yet. Okay, so that's actually good to know. 17.
That's also a hit. Yep.
Cool. And then I do 10, and then 13 damage, so 23.
All right, so you don't see this happen, but I will let you describe what happens. So you kill the snake on your second blow, but you're blind. So what does that look like?
I think ultimately what happens is Torgor's eyes are shut, and he steadies himself, and he just like listens to the chaos that's now erupting in this field. Like now he's taking a hit. Like now it's like truly a Rakdos show for him.
Yeah,
and he's so centered in where he is, and in that moment of centered, it allows him to like just be like every ounce of his being can now be violent because he has like kind of made that neutrality, and he has that control. So like with the first one, just wham, just like across the face, and he knows he makes connection from the feeling of it, and he like feels like the pushback. And then on the other one, he like brings it up and goes down. And as he's going down, he realizes that he went straight through the head. Because obviously there's viscera that splashes on him, but like he hits the earth.
Yeah, right.
And here's the sound of like the earth.
Yeah, you feel
away.
the thud of hitting the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with that, he like feels the head. And I would like to think like I might have to make so because I'm blind, how difficult would it be for me to put the snake to hide underneath the snake body from the manticore, to use it like as cover?
Not that hard. Like if you put one hand on it and you like flop over here and throw yourself prone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All
I
right.
think.
And Winnegar is just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? As he like puts this big viper head on it.
So he like hides under the body.
Yeah.
So when you from the outside, that first blow when you hit it and it reels back, wounded, blood sprays off of it into the audience. Can you Tack? Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Rude.
I bet you I can do cool.
Okay, let me just.
Oh no, we're in the splash.
Oh, 24.
It me.
Okay. All right. So you managed to not get any blood all over you. Rode, you have a shield in front of you. The woman in front of you gets covered in blood. Just
Yeah, I like move behind her. I'm like, oh no.
It's
You've
mostly
got a
because I
little
don't
on
know
your.
if this is like poisonous blood or something. And
Yeah, the woman doesn't immediately like burst into flames or die horribly or anything. So, which is really disappointing to anyone that's nearby.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed.
Okay. All right. So Torgor, you can make another Constitution save at the end of your turn.
Yes, I would love.
See if you recover from the poison.
Uh-huh.
It's still coursing through your racked body.
And nobody sees it, but
Mhm.
underneath Charlie's body, Torgor is still weeping.
And it's the tears that free you from your blindness.
Yeah, they wipe away. It's a 19. They wipe
Okay.
away.
Yes. You recover. Yep. You cry out the poison. So you're not blinded anymore and you won't take any poison damage.
Snake.
So Gorbor, you see your brother get badly injured and then throw himself to safety after killing the snake. The manticore up above turns its entire attention on Gorbor now.
Sometimes he just needs a good cry. Sorry, I almost said that in Tack's voice.
All right, so three more spikes for you. The manticore rises up a little further because it can see the swirling aura and wants to keep its distance. So it flies up a bit and it's just flapping its wings and flinging tail spikes at you. So it gets 3 attacks against Gorbor, whose armor class is 18. So here we go. 1.
I would prefer not to.
So miss. 16, 12,
and 3. All right.
16,
So
almost.
your Boros armor protects you, Gorbor.
Yeah.
In the same way that I think that Torgor isn't really like a jumping, rolling, like kind of acrobatic fighter. Neither are you. You have heavy armor on,
No.
and the sound of high velocity projectiles bouncing off of it fills the arena, and the audience cheers. But also like they're a little sad that you didn't get impaled. But you know, there's always next round. Gorbor, it is your turn. What are you gonna do?
Sorry, I'm still like reading these.
That's okay. The
encounter
encounter does not require like that everybody is exact with these because I knew somebody playing a character they haven't played before.
Yeah. So it's still flying.
Yes, it's 30 feet off the ground, flapping its wings.
Ooh.
Up here.
It's hard to tell because I don't have a lot of ranged spells.
Yeah.
Don't have a lot of ranged options. I think what Gorbor is going to do is seeing now that Gorbor has to kind of carry the momentum of the performance, he'll take his own hammer and like slam it against his armor a few times and really, is that all? And it's just like question mark at the end. It's just like, is this right? I don't know. And then cast a scorching ray.
Nice. Cool. So this is one of your Boros spells.
Yeah.
So yeah, from your hammer, you can fire three scorching rays, I think.
Damn.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes.
So you should have scorching ray as look at it. It's under your attacks. There's a weapon, scorching ray. So you can just click that, and we'll see how it goes.
Bloop.
All right. The first scorching ray finds its mark. Yeah, it hits the manticore.
Nice
Okay.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, that is guiding bolt, and that is not helpful.
So you can, yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean, you only have one target, so you might as well do all three of them in a row and then roll damage for each one. Nice, all three of them hit.
Nice.
Wow,
Yeah.
very good.
It looks amazing. Gorbor looks a little surprised.
Mhm.
But other than that, it's just a stream of like fireworks straight from the hammer as he points it up at the manticore. And then I just click bloop.
Mm-hmm.
Bloop,
Wow.
and,
Yeah, so that 8 plus 7, you can ignore the 7 because it was
Yeah,
it
ignore
just
the
rolls the
7.
crit anyway. But 8, 8,
Gotcha.
and 6. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So the crowd, they cheer because they love fire and they love violence. A couple of them cheer a little less loudly than usual because they don't like the Boros very much. But they're
super-
like, it's like, I don't like him, but I like what he's doing. So
yeah,
hooray, I guess.
yeah, 100%.
Nice.
Oh, whoopsies.
We're all very
No, that's
proud
an
that you
action, so
could
never
cast
mind.
guidance if you wanted to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could if I wanted to. I was trying
Show
to
off.
read stuff.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many. I've never played a spellcaster in Roll20, so I'm just sitting here going like, oh,
Like, look at all these options. Yeah, so
So
many things to
delightful.
click.
So many things I could click if I wanted to, but I don't.
All right, so you scorching ray the thing. Do you want to move, or because there are these like pillars you could run and try to like hide behind, or I mean he's pretty mobile, but
I think that how tall are the pillars?
they're probably like how tall would the ceiling be? They're very tall because they normally would have held up a ceiling. This isn't an arena that the Rakdos like built. It's just a place they found in the ruins and are using for the circus. So there would have been a ceiling. I think they're probably sheared off around like 50 feet. Maybe the ceiling collapsed a long
Yeah.
time ago.
In my mind and in Gorbor's mind, because I am Gorbor's god right now.
You are?
I don't think that he would think hiding behind something as opposed to under something would be helpful against a flying creature.
Mhm.
So I think that he's just gonna square up
Yeah.
and kind of like wait for Torgor to kind of you want to get it together or
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. So you hold your ground,
Yeah.
hoping to eat up the shots. Okay. All right. Torgor, what would you like to do?
I think. Am I within range for my crossbow?
Yeah. I mean, what's the short range on your? Is it a light crossbow?
I believe I have both a light and a heavy crossbow.
Just walking around packing. All right.
Right. Yeah.
So heavy. Oh, of course I don't have it written down here. It should say the range if you dragged it over for your character sheet, but I'm pretty sure you're within short range for both.
Cool. I'm gonna actually. Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot with my heavy crossbow at it from like behind the what's it called? The snake.
Mhm.
And more or less like, yeah, let me make the shot first and then I'll say what I'm trying to do.
Okay. So you make an attack with a heavy crossbow.
The heavy crossbow.
Okay. It is a miss, unfortunately. You get a 12. So the shot, you line up the shot. Now that you can see, you blink the tears and the venom out of your eyes, and you fire. But the manticore moves out of the way, and the arrow soars into the crowd and almost kills someone. And yeah, like people moving it, thunk, hits the seat, and then
Almost.
the person that, yeah, exactly. So there's again that combination of like, oh my god, I almost died, and like, oh, I almost died.
Almost died.
Jeez.
5 people move up.
Yeah, right, exactly. Just like moving in there. Somebody grabs the crossbow bolt and like pulls it out of the wall and puts it in their bag.
Gives it to a little kid.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll use my second attack to shoot another heavy crossbow.
Now I think with a heavy crossbow you can only fire it once per round because it is a heavy crossbow.
This is good to know. Then my light crossbow will be the one that I shoot with.
So you have your I'm just figuring the action economy. So you had your maul in your hands.
The maul, Maul's, I would say, set down.
Yes, you put them all away. You've drawn your heavy crossbow. You fire it. You do not have the actions left to put the heavy crossbow away and take the light one out and fire that one as well.
I appreciate you being nitpicky about rules. I value it, and it's limiting my dream, but I value it.
That's what I do here. Limit your dreams. Yep.
And then in that case, I might shout to Gorbor, being like, if you can bring it to the ground, I can do something to it. It's too far. I was never good at the arcane. Okay.
Okay. All right. So the Manticore is going to continue its assault on Gorbor. It's going to move this way slightly, and then it's going to fling some more tail spikes at Gorbor. So here we go. First spike is a 14. Second spike is a 23. There we go. That's a hit. So Gorbor, you take 9 damage, 9 piercing. And then the third tail spike is a 19, which is also a hit. You take another 11. So you take 20 piercing damage total, Gorbor. So this time, the Manticore moves to reposition and flings these spikes. And before you get a chance to really turn to absorb the brunt, 2 of them hit places that either the armor is thin, and they punch through, or it catches you in an area where you're unarmored. Searing pain as you're stabbed with Manticore tail bits. It is your turn.
Gorbor doesn't. What's Gorbor's HP? I don't have an HP tracker. I can't see. I'm so worried.
Oh, it's okay. I'm about half.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're fine. All right.
So what do you want to do, Gorbor?
Gorbor, it doesn't really matter if Healing Word was a bonus action. I can't cast 2 spells in the same round. Anyway, Gorbor will cast Healing Word and kind of like try to disguise it as though he's chiding Torgory. He's like, haha, you don't need me to win your fight for you, do you, brother?
I like that.
But it's like
the healing word is just healing chastisement. Like, do better. Get up. Come on.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast that at 3rd level.
Okay, cool. It's a good roll. You got a 3 and a 4. Okay. I mean, 7 hit points is better than nothing.
Yeah.
So Torgor, you recover 7 hit points.
Yes.
It's because Gorbor has an unfortunate problem where he phrases everything as a question. So it's like, please get up. Things have gotten rather scary.
Okay, so that's a bonus action, right? Healing Word?
Yes. So I can still take an attack. I just don't know if I can melee attack from where I am. So I'm going to use my light crossbow because I don't really have a I don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
So let's heckin' do that.
Okay, you get a 12. Nope. 12 was not good enough for Masood to do it. It isn't good enough for you, I'm afraid. So you're firing, and again, you fire at the Manticore. The coral goes up, and people in the audience are like, somebody takes off their ball cap to try to like catch it, but it goes over the stands and flies out into the parking lot and goes right through somebody's windshield. They're gonna be pissed when they get out there.
That's okay. I'm gonna hang out behind a pillar now.
Okay, yeah, you can move.
I'm gonna move over to where Torgor is, and not running, but not like
I'm not. It's not walking, but it's not running either.
It's very much like a speed walk. It's just like, hey.
Excellent. Okay. So Torgor, it's your turn. Before you take your turn, can you roll a perception check for me?
Yes, I can. I think I'm good at that. Thank God. All right, here we go. I'm actually not that. I'm not great, but it's fine. That's 7. Is that what you wanted?
I mean, I needed you to roll. I take personal.
My passive wisdom perception is 12.
So you're distracted. Understandably, what is it that's distracting you,
fucking
Road?
sloshed. I'm so
Okay.
3 days to spender. Yeah.
I think she's genuinely. I think she's just like talking about the fight to Tak, but Tak is not listening at all. I think I was like, why would he fight like that and then not fight like that when we're fighting for our lives? He's just fighting for a crowd.
Right, like why is he suddenly so good at fighting? Where was this fighting spirit earlier? Yeah.
It's just fucking stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
Like, it is relentless.
Tak will like lean around the bloody spectator between them and just be like, Road, I don't fucking know. Just watch the fight.
Sometimes Road leans over to another woman and thinks it's Tak.
It's like, can you believe
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what's
all
happening.
of Rhodes' problems originated from when she was a child and they were at the mall, her and her mom, and she grabbed some other lady's hand because she thought it was her mom, and that just ruined their relationship forever and just set her down a dark path. Yeah.
Yep. And here we are.
All right.
Rakdos fight.
Torgor, it is your turn. You're currently prone next to a pillar and a giant dead snake.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I want to use athletics to get on top of the pillar.
Yeah, you want to climb up the pillar?
Climb or jump and climb to see how far up I can get.
Yeah, if you spend your entire turn, like if you do 2 move actions, you can move up on top of the broken off pillar.
1,000%. That'll be what I do, and then I'm going to actually. So I couldn't move to this far pillar and also get on top of it, I imagine.
No, right? because you're down on the ground, so you got to spend half your movement to get up, and then the rest of clambering up the side of the thing.
So I have a question. If I use action surge, can I ready an action with it?
Yeah, I think so. Because it just gives you another action, and then I think you can ready it, right?
All right, then I would like to get on top of the pillar.
Okay, so you're now 50 feet off the ground. You're higher up than this guy is.
Yes,
he's below you now. Okay.
Oh, I know.
And you're standing in a little 5x5 square at the top of a stone pillar.
Yeah.
And so somebody in the crowd yells like, "Fall!"
That was good. What are you doing? Scoop.
It's a Rakdos event, so you're just likely to take off your shirt as you are and then die.
On top of the pillar, I look at the Mountigore and I just go and I shout, "You know what, Marcus? I felt bad about killing Charlie. I never gave a fuck about you." Try to goad it into coming towards me because I want to be ready to just jump onto it as it gets nearby. That is my ready to action. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so you're gonna ready an action, and the action is to attempt to grapple the Manticore if it comes within range.
Yes, with my 2 attacks to grapple and then strike, or strike and then grapple. In some, just to jump on Buckbeak's back on this airborne encounter. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think not using the word mount is really important.
Never.
Okay.
Because Marcus is the worst.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's see, because the Manticore, the smart thing to do would be to just keep flinging tail spikes at you, but let's have you roll make a charisma save, and we'll see if you've mocked this thing.
Is it charisma or intimidation?
Well, intimidation is the opposite, right? If you're intimidated, I guess sometimes if you're intimidated, you attack the thing that's scaring you, but it feels like intimidation would be more drive it away. This is sure. I could see persuasion maybe being a thing.
I could do persuasion. You originally said charisma saving throw, right?
Yeah, because I figure that's just a stand-in for a generic charisma roll that I don't know.
Right. And because I directed it towards Marcus, I'm definitely gonna say it's not performance.
Yeah.
It's it's not to the crowd. Let's just do charisma. Let's see. It's a +1, same way. 6.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So you have not convinced him yet to come in and claw at you. He will though. He's gonna move. He's gonna come up to your level. And then fling some spikes at you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So spike number 1 is a hit.
Definitely.
For 5 piercing damage.
Cool.
Second spike is a 20 for another 8 piercing damage.
Your boy's at 11.
And then the last spike is an 18. Wow, I hit all 3 this time.
It's great.
And that's another 6.
So I'm at 5 and doing great.
So
I just imagined the concept of falling damage and got terrified. For
yeah,
you.
so if you fall 50 feet, you take 5d6 damage.
Cool.
When you land.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. He's not gonna have to make a checks to stay up there, right?
No. Not unless the thing like shoves him, or if he's knocked unconscious, there's a chance that you just like fall off the thing. But if you're unconscious already, it's 0 hit points. So, Gorbor, it is your turn. The fight is now 50 feet above you, with Torgor standing on a pillar, shouting mockery at a manticore, and the manticore is like doing like circles, flinging spikes at him, and the crowd is screaming like they really want Torgor to fall.
Did my spirit guardians follow him up there?
Your spirit guardians are now 20 feet below, or like more than that, below him, right? Because they go 15 feet out in all directions. So
okay,
if Torgor looks down, there is a swirling orb of familial love below him, but it is now no longer
doing,
touching
like,
him.
Ring around the rosy around the pillar. It's very cute.
It's like a maypole.
It's incredibly wholesome.
Good.
I don't know how far my healing word it goes. 60 feet. So
you can reach me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cast that. I have many concerns. I guess I could cast it at level 2, but I'm not gonna roll more dice. I don't think at level 2. I think you only get 1 extra after level 3. So I might as well cast it at level 1 and save my level 2 slots. It's so weird fighting for someone I care about.
You got four points.
Good. Get 4 hit points.
Hey,
sure
that's
do.
4 more than I had last time, y'all.
Yeah,
it's true.
You and then I guess Gorbor is going to continue this charade of trying to lure this manticore closer, and just like bang on the pillar, bang on anything, throw rocks at it, whatever, and shoot his crossbow at it, just like yelling at it and shooting his crossbow. So I guess I'll do that.
Y'all had a scorching grace?
I can't cast 2 spells.
You can't cast 2 spells in the same turn. That makes. Thank you for keeping me alive.
Yeah, no, it's no problem. I would have loved to cast Scorching Ray, but I'm terrified of you dying for some reason.
I forgot. I also have what's
Second wind.
Second wind. So I'll probably do
that being
that
next turn. Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Okay, so Gorbor, you want to take a 9 is not sufficient.
Oh, it's going poorly. Things are going poorly.
Okay, Torgor, it is your turn.
Like after the last hit and just like taking in a moment of, Torgor's 50 foot up in the middle of a coliseum, finding a manticore after killing a snake he raised from birth. Growing up in the Boros, he never thought this life could have possibly been possible. And like in that like sort of like revitalization, like if I die, I'll die well.
And this is the thing, right? Like everyone in the Coliseum is like everyone in the arena is looking at you, and like they're excited. It's not for you. I think there's this moment of realizing that it's not necessarily about winning or losing the fight. Like obviously you'd like to stay alive, but it's everybody is entertained. Everybody's having a great time.
I have this vision that in this moment he's calling his shot, like Babe Ruth pointing to the outfield.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna use a D10. plus my fighter level. So that is 7 plus 8. Or am I 8? What am I? I'm 6. 7 plus 6 to give me 13 more
Nice.
health back.
Yep.
Big old 22.
Nice.
And then, how far away is this?
He's
It's on the same level, right?
20 feet at eye level with you. Yep.
What do you think of my jump distance is?
That's a great question. And
Yeah.
Chat was asking about that. You drank a potion of hill giant strength before
Yeah.
this fight, right?
This is why I'm feeling confident about athletics checks, like for this exact
Yeah.
reason.
So let's see. That's
Yeah.
the spell jump. That's the crisscross song jump. Okay, so your strength determines how far you can jump. When you make a long jump, it's a number of feet up to your strength score if you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump. When you make a standing long jump, you can leap half that distance.
Cool.
So you can jump half of your strength, which is currently what, 22?
21.
So
21.
you could-
And
20
you still have to say the Mac Daddy makes you jump because I don't know how the crisscross jump got inside this.
Yeah. You could make this jump if you were the DADDYMAC, but you're not. So you're
Can
unfortunate.
someone cast I missed the bus?
No, that's when the bus makes an attack roll and fails. So okay, you can jump 10 feet basically.
Cool.
Because you don't have a running leap. So if you can get it within 10 feet, you could try to jump out to it.
For sure. I'm just gonna hit it with my light crossbow because that doesn't take as much time to reload.
Yeah.
Or is it yeah?
I think both crossbows you're only going to get one shot out of them. I think
Cool.
that they have that condition.
One shot?
And I only know that because there's a monster, a fairly common monster that has 2 attacks and has a heavy crossbow, and you're like, why? Why would you use this crossbow? How dare you?
Yeah.
Let me check light crossbow to double.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
I was about to talk about you as if you had left the room, like you had gotten up to like. Let me go check this book. Like,
Let me just
guys,
check
what
this
do I do?
Yeah, I mean, you can commiserate if you want to while I check the rules
Yeah.
for this.
It is 20 feet below you, so
It is 20. So it's
No, it's up at your level now. Yeah.
It's on my level.
JK.
But it's 20. It's I thought about like that arc almost if I jump and then like use falling to my advantage.
Yeah.
You had to make the platform 5 feet, huh?
It's a 5 foot square.
Little 5 foot square.
I believe in you, if that helps.
So-
I've already looked at all of my abilities and been incredibly thankful you didn't choose me for this fight because I have no fucking long range shit.
It's very
You would have stepped to the
here we go.
wind
Yes.
right up to that mana core.
Yeah,
Yeah,
light crossbows are also loading, so you can only fire
Cool.
them once per.
Cool.
I wouldn't be able to help at all. I mean, I have magic missile, fireball.
Mhm.
Is that message channel still open? Can I be like, anytime you want to hop in?
I don't think it goes both ways, right?
No,
I just send
it definitely
messages.
does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, if
And
you
you
want
make
to try
a
to
safe
communicate
word.
with me,
Yeah, it's like,
Word.
what the fuck do you think you're doing?
Adam, did you hear that part of the conversation
Should have never told y'all that.
that we had earlier?
No.
TK, do you want to tell that story?
we can take a little tight, like a type 5.
It's only like a second long.
Yeah.
That's true.
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Let's go.
I know, but I don't know if she watches.
Okay,
this.
that's fine.
We'll talk about that later. Instead of dilly-dallying around, I'd say Torgor. Yeah, he's gonna.
So hold on before you say what you want to do with the rest of your turn. Kenson Oni made a good point in chat.
Yeah.
Looking around, there is rigging for like trapeze artists above you, right? There is a net of so like if you crouch down and it's all pulled up, right? Because normally it would hang down, right?
Yeah.
Normally it would hang down low, and then they would pull on the ropes to get it out of the way, right? Pull it up above, and so it's kind of like a mesh. But if you crouch down and you jump straight up in the air, you might be able to grab some of this like rigging and use it
Fucking
to
trapeze.
yeah. You may
Yes.
and you could probably swing out to it.
Okay. Torgor sees this and knows exactly what to do. Oh God, I really hope I don't fail this roll. He takes his maul and like loops it onto his belt, so it's not on his back. So if you need, you can like pull it out. What action?
I just reach up, grab some rope, put it around my neck, and just step off the pillar.
No one saw the end of the fight that way. It really just surprised them.
You didn't beat me. I quit.
Yeah.
Rim.
But actually, now that you say that, he takes a rope, ties it at the end of the maul to give him some more leverage, and then swings with. Now there's no need for him to hold two hands onto the maul, so he has his rapier on his with his offhand, ready to do like a.
Okay, so you've got your rapier in hand, and you wanna like reach up into the like grab one of the ropes.
Yeah, tie it around the tail end of the thing.
Okay, and then swing out from here with the intention of jumping onto the manticore and grappling
and using
it.
the extended length that I've given myself with the maul to give me a little more Tarzan.
Okay, all right. So there's gonna be two rolls. There's gonna be
it has to be two.
There's gonna be two rolls here.
The first one's the dice. The second one's you hitting the floor.
Well, thanks for coming, everybody.
That's the height. We're done. There's nothing we can do better than that.
Well. All right. Well, so Torgor is about to make a death-defying flight through the air, but before we do that, we're gonna take a short break to let the cast recover. When we get back, we'll see if the flying Torgors become the hard landing Torgors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.